Hello, Leo. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards for you, one from Lay Vampire and one from Chakra Wisdom. And what you pulled from Lay Vampire is free will, sovereignty, independence, and free spirit. This card speaks about acting on your free will without guilt and going after what it is that you want. And then looking at mysticism from Chakra Wisdom is saying that you need to pay attention to your intuition, trust the unknown, and don't ignore the signs that are around you. So I feel like not only are you acting on your free will to go after something that is important to you, but with mysticism behind it, it's as if you're doing it intuitively. Okay, Leo. Here is the energy coming through. Wow. The Emperor. You know, and looking at the way that this reading so far is connecting with your last one, you went from this feeling of being pressured by peers and family and people who think that you were supposed to be doing something specific, like they had their own ideas of who you were. Now you're pulling free will. And then on top of that with the Emperor, this being the signifier is saying that you are going to get your house in order. So the Emperor is all about order, power, and structure. When you look at the journey of life through tarot and you start with the Fool and you go into the Empress and then all the chaos that's in between there, the Emperor comes in and he brings order and structure to everything. This is about getting your house in order. So where before you may have felt pressured to do what others wanted you to do, here you are acting on your free will without guilt and you're getting your house in order. And in the past, the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is all about moving away from conflicting people and situations. You're not quite there yet, but you're doing what you need to do to move away from that conflict in your life. And this can also suggest a need to see something different, a change of scenery. So, you know, and it would make sense that the Emperor is sitting there. With that being the past coming through, it's like needing to just move away from that. But on top of that, get your house in order. Oh, wow, Leo. The High Priest. Wow, my goodness. So the High Priest is all about a higher education, orthodox beliefs, doing things in the traditional sense. And looking at these two, oh yeah. This being in the present condition is saying that when you move away from conflict, you will have a higher understanding of your situation. This could also suggest like a mentor coming through to help you get a higher education or a higher understanding. Because, you know, the Emperor too speaks about having like a father figure type come into your life. And the High Priest speaks about mentors coming through. So, you know, I feel like looking at this, that, you know, again, and when you look at free will, it's like you're going after something different here rather than being stuck in the past and wanting something from the past. Here, it's like, no, you're moving ahead very quickly here. You're getting away from that conflict, and there is this opportunity here for a higher education. Wow. So, you know, in the High Priest, this is also about doing what is right for you. But definitely there's a lot of order going on in your life right now. Things are getting structured in a major way. Future conditions, when you, oh my goodness, when you talk about mentors coming through. Wow. I feel like seeing that King of Swords underneath the High Priest, that, you know, this could be somebody coming into your life that, is a critical thinker. He's fair, he's just. He may come off as emotionally detached, but, when you look at him underneath the high priest, yeah. And then the emperor sitting there, my goodness, you guys have got some serious stuff going on. So, and I don't feel like looking at that Six of Swords that, that king is the reason why you're needing to move away from conflict, because here you're doing it, you're moving away. So, this to show up in future conditions, no, this would have been different. It would have been like maybe the Five of Swords, and then I could see this person being involved, but you are already in the process of moving away from conflict. So I feel like looking at this king and look at all three of them. You may have a group of people around you right now that are like mentors. There's definitely like, this is a different side to Leo. It's like really standing back and looking at your situation and getting things under control, but then also receiving this higher education. And I feel like this person is coming through to help you with that. Now, this could represent an air sign. And looking at these two, to me, suggests success and being successful. But you have got some major order and structure going on in your life right now. The best path to follow, look at that. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is one of the best cards you can see in a reading. The Ten of Cups is the end of the journey through the cups, but this is about emotional fulfillment. Absolute emotional fulfillment. Happy home life, being surrounded by the people that you love. And yeah, there's definitely some people around you for sure. But it's like all in an attempt to correct anything in your life that was conflicting. And then here it's saying, be happy. Because you have emotional fulfillment. Wow. Oh, in your environment, the Eight of Pentacles. This to me can suggest something having to do with work. So the Eight of Pentacles, this is about putting in some hard work, but seeing the results of the work that you're putting in. This is like fine-tuning your craftsmanship. And, every time I see the Eight of Pentacles, I automatically think job, work. Something that's bringing some income into your life. And something that you're happy doing. So, I wonder here, looking at all of this, if, some of you aren't doing something different in your work life. And, I have to wonder if it doesn't have something to do with teaching. But again, that Ten of Cups is saying, as your best path to follow, what you're doing here to create this order and this structure in your life, you need to be happy with it. So if you're looking at maybe going back to school or getting a new job, I feel like you need to remember that it has to be something that you love doing, because what's the point if you're not going to be happy doing it? But wow. These three, critical thinking, higher education, order, power, and structure, that's really powerful. That's like a major change in your life and the way that you do things. But on top of all of this, you're acting on your free will. I think this has to do with work or education. And whatever it is that you're doing here, you love it. You are going to love it. Oh, wow. Your hopes and your fears. Look at that. The Queen of Cups. Again, being surrounded by people. And when you look at emotional fulfillment and you look at these two, it could suggest that there's a relationship going on as well. But still, I don't, looking at this, I wonder if this is somebody that you work with. So the Queen of Cups, this could represent a water sign. This could be somebody who is emotionally intuitive, who is very open, very loving, and empathetic almost to a fault. Now, I have to wonder here with these two here. And then looking at the King and the Queen, I always say this in readings. When you see this, this could suggest a relationship. And again, being surrounded by people, right? So if this is where you end up as your own energy coming through after moving away from conflict, getting this higher understanding, it's like you're using your critical thinking. You're tapping into the logical mind. And then here's this Queen. And then emotional fulfillment. And I have to wonder, there's two ways to look at this. This could be a group of people that are around you right now. When you look at the Emperor being like a father figure coming through, and then the High Priest suggesting mentors coming through. Yes, you could be surrounded by people right now that may have to do with work or school and receiving a higher education. But when you look at it at the other side, especially with the Ten of Cups sitting there, this could suggest a relationship where this could be somebody that you're working with right now. Wow, Leo, you've got some major stuff going on here and people around you. And the outcome, my goodness, the Seven of Pentacles. This is all about needing to reevaluate your situation. So now with the Seven of Pentacles, you're looking at what you have and you're going, what can I do to change this? Or what can I do to create more? And a lot of times we need to stop and think when we're reevaluating what we have about, is what I'm doing working to create more, or do I need to change the way that I'm doing things? So, having that be the outcome, and again, with acting on your free will and all this stuff going on and all these people, you're definitely going after something very structured. It's very structured. And it's emotionally fulfilling. And I feel like the work that you're doing out of this, you love. But you're doing it because you want to do it. And, with the Seven of Pentacles, this could be looked at as reevaluating a relationship. Or reevaluating even your work situation on top of that. Because the Ten of Cups is your best path to follow, is saying that whatever you do here, it needs to be emotionally fulfilling for you. And again, with that Eight of Pentacles, it's like putting in some hard work. For sure, for sure. And, still, there's two ways to look at this. This could be a group of people coming through to help you reevaluate your situation so that you can be happy with what it is that you're doing. Or this could be a need to reevaluate a relationship. This is a really powerful reading, Leo. And, when you look at mysticism on top of all of this, right? These two are in contrast, especially with this too. Mysticism, could be speaking to you right now about not ignoring the signs that are around you. Trusting in the unknown. Basically, whatever it is that you're working toward here to create that structure in your life, you need to trust that even though you don't see it right now, that it is still possible for you, because that is what you are working toward, is creating structure in your life, getting this higher education, reevaluating probably your work situation, and understanding that what you do here has to be something that you love doing. This reading is really powerful, and I can feel this order and structure and all this powerful stuff going on. So, having the Emperor as a signifier and looking at free will, where you came from before, now things are starting to change. Instead of being stuck in the past and wanting something from the past returned to you, you're doing something completely different. You're acting on your free will without guilt. You're getting order and structure in your life. And then again, with the High Priest, looking at this and looking at the Emperor, there are some really big changes going on, but it's going to be ordered and structured. Now, this is good to see in the past coming through. It's saying that whatever conflict you were feeling before, you are moving away from it, and what you're doing now is so different. And looking at these two, this could suggest a group of people that you may be working with right now. Mentors coming through, people helping you to gain that higher education or that higher understanding. But then on the other side of it, when you look at the swords, if this is your energy coming through, it can suggest that after moving away from this conflict and receiving this higher education, that you are now thinking with your logical mind. And this could suggest a person that may be in your work environment. And it could suggest a relationship. Now, looking at the Seven of Pentacles on top of that, it could be saying that there's a need to reevaluate this relationship. Or this could be a need to reevaluate what you're doing as far as your work is going. Because again, with the Ten of Cups being the best path to follow, this is about emotional fulfillment. So whatever you're doing, make sure that you're doing something that you're happy with. It's got to be something that you want to do. And again, with free will, it's saying, yeah, you're doing what you choose to do. Now, when you look at mysticism on top of all of this, this also talks about needing to be an observer and waiting before you make a response. Now, looking at that and looking at this and with the Emperor, this to me is saying that, yeah, you have some major guidance coming through right now. There may be some people surrounding you that are helping you. And you're sitting back and absorbing this information. So where you're going here is a lot different from the last reading. You're not reflecting on the past anymore. And you're doing what you need to do to change your situation. Looking at what is going on in your life, reevaluating it, and again, getting away from conflict. I like this reading. I like the change in energy going on here. And I feel like you guys are headed definitely down the right path with all of three of these showing up. So this is really good to see. Just make sure that, again, you act on your free will and it is something that you enjoy doing.